Hey, good afternoon. So, this is Amy, and one of the many things that I do is that I help women reach wellness 1 pound, 1 inch, um, sometimes one hot flash, one emotion, and for sure one step at a time. And in this video, I am going to talk about getting your body functioning better and just risks from toxic ingredients and just ways to just help your body's defenses. Um, all with the hope to get you feeling better. Um, are there times where you just don't feel like you have enough energy or your brain isn't working, which I know can be related to energy, but sometimes it could be related to other things like stress, or you just feel like there's just not enough time in the day to get everything done, and then as you're just overwhelmed and you're like, I totally get that. I have felt that way too. And I for sure reach to, um, well, I for sure pray a lot. And I for sure reach to my essential oils for help. And then, I've been also working very hard to be like, okay, telling myself to stop and ask myself, is this helpful? Um, so, what I want to talk about today is just your body functioning better. I wrote an article about this the other day, and I'll provide a link for you guys to review that, because I link other resources to government sites for some validity in what I'm sharing, especially in these times that we're living right now. But just to address your body's functions, like what areas of your body do we need to be looking at to support, to just help boost us, to make us feel better, and to provide us with more energy. And then I want to also just, I know I talk about this a lot, and it's funny, for as much as I talk about it, you would think I like talking about it, but actually I don't like talking about it, but it's such an important thing for us to know, and that is what ingredients to avoid, because there are certain toxic ingredients that we have and that you may have in your home. You don't even realize the dangers from those ingredients. Ingredients such as ammonium and fragrance. You do realize that companies do not need to disclose all of the ingredients in the term fragrance because they claim corporate. Uh, I mean, I get it. They're like corporate privacy. Like those what we put in there. We want it to keep private, because not necessarily to keep secret, but to keep private because that's our bread and butter. So I get that. But there are other ingredients like formaldehyde, and some of those ingredients I can't actually pronounce. But in the article I wrote yesterday, there is a link to learn more about those. But here is the thing that I want you to really be paying attention to: are the risks from toxic ingredients like allergies, hormone and endocrine system disruptions, organ system toxicity. That's not good. That's not good at all. When we hear about, we know when our organs start to shut down, you guys, that's a bad thing. And so, one of the factors in our organs shutting down is, or not necessarily shutting down, but not working properly, is toxicity. I think about it, the way I understand things like this, the way it helps me understand things like this is air filters in our cars, air filters in our homes. We need to keep those filters clean so that the car works properly, that the air conditioner or the furnace works properly, and then that we're breathing in clean air. I'm probably comparing apples and oranges, but it's still, think about it. If organ system toxicity, our organs are being overloaded and they're not working properly, is what it comes down to. Other risks are carcinogens, which is cancer related, respiratory effects, as well as skin irritations. It's real. The effects of toxic ingredients, they're real. Okay, so that being said, what do we do about it? How can we combat this, if you will? One way to two ways I think of right away. We're not like two ways, but we're going to drill down into each of them. So one way is start ditching those toxic ingredients and get clean products in your home. And so I'm going to provide a link to my link tree. And one of the links in there toward the top, it says, start using this clean cleaner. So that is one way to start basically protecting your home and your body and your family's bodies and your fur babies' bodies by start ditching those toxic cleaners and start using clean products. So that's one. Another way are just simple ways. So it's like two ways. One way is ditch your toxic cleaner and start using thieves. The other way is 10 ways. I go into them in my article, so I'm not going to go into every single one in this video. I want to keep this video kind of short. But they're simple ways. They're not necessarily easy things to do. One is to avoid sugars. And I'm realizing I need to avoid more and more sugars, especially as I continue to, you know, rock middle age. But sugar can, yeah, it just wreaks havoc on our bodies. It just does. And it's so addictive. Ask me how I know. But another easy thing to do is to just help our bodies function better is avoid processed foods and stick to real foods. Okay? I know easier said than done because we equate real food with having to cut the veggies and cut the fruits and do all this, and it's cumbersome, and sometimes we're just tired, and throwing in a pizza into the oven is so much easier. I know I do that I do that a lot. I do that. I try not to keep pizza in my house, so I don't do that. The more I talk about the pizza, the more I want pizza. Anyway, um, focus, Amy. But again, I list the 10 ways in my article, so definitely check that out. But one really simple, easy way, and it's going to be one of my call to action for us today, that is drink more water. I know. You may be thinking, well, I don't like water. I hear you. I get it. I actually love water. There are some days, though, it's harder for me to drink water than others. But here's a pro tip for you. A pro tip to drink more water is just ration yourself / reward yourself. So in the morning, I drink, this is 20 ounces. So I drink my 20 ounces before I allow myself to have a cup of coffee. So that means as soon as I'm out of the shower, I'm drinking my water. So I make myself drink those 20 ounces before I allow myself to have a cup of coffee. And then I try to get my next 20 ounces in before I have lunch. And if I'm having to finish it up those 20 ounces while I'm eating lunch, that's fine. So right there's 40 ounces. I try to drink 80 ounces every day. The rule of thumb is that you should drink, off the top, I can't think of what it is right now. But let's say you weigh, there's a formula you do. You guys, it is escaping me. I know it's kind of painful. But it's like if somebody weighs 160 pounds, they need to drink 160 ounces of water. No, half that. 80 ounces of water. That's it. 160, that's a lot. Okay, yeah, that's right. So take your weight, then half your weight. That's how many ounces that you should drink. So if you weigh 160 divided by 2 is 80. So you drink 80 ounces a day. So just a rule of thumb. But I'm like, if you're not drinking any water, I would have a goal of trying to drink 2 bottles of water a day. Try drinking 40 ounces a day, and work to increase that. Because let's face it, if I was like, I'm going to run a marathon, I want to run a marathon, I'm not going to be able to run a marathon tomorrow. I could try, but it'd be pretty painful tomorrow as well as the following days. But if I think, I'm going to run a marathon, in a year, and I start walking more and then running more and increase that every day, then yeah, I'm setting myself up for success and I probably can run a marathon in a year. So I'm telling you that because I don't want you to be discouraged by, I can't drink 80 ounces. I weigh 160 pounds and I can't drink 80 ounces. I'm only drinking 10 ounces. Great. You're drinking 10 ounces of water. That's great. Increase. For the next week, try to drink 20 ounces a day. And there may be some days you drink a little bit more, you drink a little bit less, but start drinking 20 ounces a day. And then in 2 weeks, increase that a little bit and just keep increasing that. Okay, so that's one of our call to actions. So I actually should be drinking a little bit more than 80 ounces a day because I weigh a little bit more than 160 pounds, and I'm working on that. And I have been working on getting that lowered. Again, I help women as well as myself reach wellness through 1 pound, 1 ounce at a time. So, but our other call to action is, I mentioned a minute ago about the thieves. But another thing in that link tree, there are two bundles I want you to look at. And they are labeled. The first one I want you to look at is labeled, it's called Bundle, Products That Help Me Function Better. And then the one I've already mentioned is Bundle, Friend, You Need This Clean Cleaner. And both of those are linked in my link tree. But I want you to look at the bundle that says, products that I've used to help function better, help me function better. These are products I use. One thing that I started doing, as you may know, this month, 1 year ago this month, I fell on wet pavement and I fractured my skull and incurred a traumatic brain injury. And so I'm healing and recovering from that while I'm healing and recovering from a lot of other things, a broken heart, all the things. So, but one thing that I've had to really work on as I increase my hours, because I've had to work this year on increasing the amount of hours I can work on a daily and weekly basis as I heal from this TBI. But I was like, I need more energy. I just flat out need more energy. And with all my rest that I was doing for my healing, I was like, I still need more energy. And so I have increased what I do with my Super B. Super B is our amazing oil infused B complex that Young Living has. I've increased my Super B that I take on a daily basis, and I've noted, and I now can tell when I don't take my Super B. I've heard other people talk about that for years, and I'm now actually experiencing that. So that may be something that you want to look at. If that is, I asked a question in the video descriptor of like, if there was one health issue that you have that you wish you could change, what would it be and why? And I don't ask this question insensitively by any stretch of the imagination. I've had a brother who has died of brain cancer, and I've had a mother who has suffered from memory issues. And I know that there are people who are, with what we have going on in the world right now, there's just a lot of concerns going on. So I do not ask this question insensitively. I ask it from a heart that really wants to hear from you. Right now, for me, one of my health concerns is my weight. I want to drop the weight in inches. I need to do that for many reasons. And that's just me being real and raw with you. So I ask that question in a posture of true sincerity. And so if you choose not to answer it in the comments, that is completely fine. If you want to reach out to me directly and talk about it, I'm here for it. If this question just gets you thinking, that makes me happy. And so, and at some point, if you want to chat, again, reach out. I'm here for it. So I appreciate your all's time. And as always, I'm here on this journey to help you as you are working to reach wellness. All right. Thanks, everybody.